What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're going to go through my own personal teams that we've created in order to get through the current treasure map versus Kaido. Now look, I do have pretty much all the boosted units you can have for this treasure map, aside from the Raizo and the Okiku treasure map point reward characters. Not the point reward characters, but the rare recruit characters you can pull from the treasure map Sugo Fest. So my teams that I build are not going to be for everyone, but I do have the free-to-play teams from the treasure map preparation video, which gives you a little bit more accessible teams in order to beat it. Ensure that, you can go check out that team, you can check out my teams, and see what you like, and, if you've got better units that are better than the free-to-play ones, definitely use them. Just try and get, the best points that you possibly can, specifically for the final boss versus Olin, and versus the intrusion boss versus Kaido. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We're just going to scroll down. We're not going to talk about Kaido because we already talked about him in the preparation video. He's actually pretty good. I think he's not a bad treasure map unit at all. Let's jump into the video. First boss is going to be versus page 1. So remember, with page 1, he gives you 3 turns of despair, and then he also gives you block orbs. That's basically all he does. So because it's only 3 turns of despair, if you just have the ability of your sockets, you can remove it. And then for block orbs, well, we're just going to use Shanks. Lucky enough, we pulled Whitebeard versus Shanks in the Yamato Sugo Fest. Very blessed to have pulled that. So we're just going to be doing that. Plus, we did pull Marco. Marco's pretty good. I'll be having content with Marco come out sometime next week. He's really, really cool. But anyways, this is the team that we're building here. A lot of these units were just kind of the leftover units that I hadn't put in a team yet. And they just all kind of fit. Shanks boosts Sight, Int, and Slasher characters, so we're just running Sight, Int, and Slashers, and that's basically it. Nothing really too crazy. Page 1 does have the lowest amount of health out of all the bosses, and because he's Int, we can just run our Sai units and just use Shanks special, full board of slots, and we're going to be done with it. It's just going to be absolutely easy. Nothing really too crazy to talk about here. The next boss we're talking about, though, is going to be versus King, who is a strength boss. Now, with his quest guide, a little bit different. He will go ahead and give you 4 turns of special bind, and 4 turns of increased defense will be active on the enemy side of the field. Now, if you do have Ashura Doji, you actually want to use him, but the thing is his cooldown is naturally so high that you're probably not going to get his stage 2 special, unfortunate as that is. So we're going to be using, I think that the sea monster actually removes the increased defense as well. Yeah, it reduces defense up by 4 turns. So you've got Ashura Doji to remove the special bind. We have the sea monster to get rid of the defense up. We've also got the Ace and Sabo to provide color affinity if we need it. He does provide a couple of matching slots, but he's just kind of a filler unit as well, because we have Gyukimara on the team that can make all type slots count as matching for our quick characters. And then we've also got Nami, who provides color affinity and a defense down conditional special. So again, this is another team that probably doesn't really need that much explanation. We do have Smoker support attached to Onami, which means when we use the Onami special, we get color affinity, we get conditional boost, and we also get a 1.75 quick attack boost via that support. So again, this is a pretty good team that should be lasting throughout the entire duration of this treasure map. And now we can talk about the versus Jack team. So this is, again, a strength boss, and in this variation of this quest, you will see that there is going to be the chain multiplier reduction, and there's also a tap limit. You can only attack with 3 characters, and all colored slots and recovery slots are treated as badly matching slots. Obviously pretty bad. This time around, though, I'm going to be using Yamato. Now, you can see that on Yamato's icon, it does mention that I will have Yamato in another team, and we'll talk more about that once we get to it. But yes, I'm going to be using Int 6-star Yamato for this quest, and we are going to be using the Who's Who, and Sasaki, and Black Maria, basically the entire batch, and then also just running Kanjuro as a filler unit, because he does have type advantage, which is nice. But the idea of this team is by using Sasaki and Who's Who, and then using Yamato special, all the matching slots are changed into Wano slots. So even though they counted as non-beneficial, it still changes the same type slot of the character, just because Who's Who has an Int slot and it is treated as not matching, it is still an Int slot on an Int character. So Yamato will still change that into a Wano slot, which is great, so we can get around the effect of just all of those slots counted as non-beneficial for our team. And because we're running such high point boosters here, we actually have a very good point multiplier here. Like, this is really good. It's a 4.65 multiplier, and that's not including a second Yamato, so this is going to be upwards of like a 6 times multiplier, which is pretty crazy to think about. Very, very strong team. Again, doesn't really need much explanation. We're just going to be using the just essentially launch all specials, and it's done. It's GG. So this is going to be a pretty good team to last throughout pretty much a majority of this treasure map. And now we can talk about the final Battle Rush boss, which is versus Queen, and let's just briefly go over his quest guide once again to give you guys a bit of a refresher. So first thing, one of your middle row characters gets switched into the captain spot for 2 turns. so just keep that in mind. That's kind of annoying. But also delay immunity, and then 6 turns of Rainbow Shield and 6 turns of Threshold. This is where they're suggesting Zora and Brook, because both of those characters can remove those really annoying defensive effects. And then for the middle row, we're going to have Sanji and we're going to have Germa. Now, our captain here is going to be Yamato. However, this is the version of Yamato that I will be super evolving. If you guys saw my treasure map Sugo Fest video, you saw right at the end of that video, we were lucky enough to pull an additional copy of Yamato. This one, as you can see with the icon, does not have the green text under the max, whereas this one does. This is my Limit Break expanded Yamato. This is the one I'm going to be super evolving. So this is ideally going to be a 6+ Yamato and a 6+ Yamato friend captain, and this one is going to be 6-star Yamato with a 6-star Yamato friend captain. So it is cool. You are able to use both different Yamatos on 2 separate teams, so long as one is super evolved and one is not super evolved. So that's a really nice feature that you can just get access to with these treasure map in particular. And of course, we're running Brook and Zora for the utility, and then just like, you know, Sanji and Germa, because it doesn't matter which one of those becomes the captain, it's going to be a pretty nice addition to the team. So again, pretty self-explanatory, but nice. It gets the job done. Cannot wait to use Yamato in this treasure map. It's going to be great. Okay, now we can talk about the final boss versus Olin. We'll talk about the intrusion boss in just a moment, but in this quest guide, there is obviously 2 different bosses you have to worry about. There is the stage 4 mini boss, and then there's the final boss versus Olin. So for the mini boss on battle 4, we get a bind to our top row. 7 turns of bind becomes 4 turns after sockets. We get inflicted with burn. We have special reverse to our middle row characters only, and there's also delay immunity. So we're using the Kawamatsu that we pulled from the treasure map Sugo Fest. He does remove the bind, which is great. And then we're gonna have ulti set as ulti. We're gonna have a friend captain set as Kawamatsu as well, so we just get as many points as we possibly can. Because of that, we are actually able to get 4 quick characters on our team. When we launch the special of Kawamatsu, it's going to give us an attack boost, which means that King is going to be able to activate in the final room. That's also really nice. So we can use King on this turn. He's going to guarantee activate on the final room, and that's going to be awesome to see. And then, of course, when you go ahead and move on to the final boss room, we're going to have access to the Big Mom fight, which will change all slots to empty. We can use the super type of King to give us a full board of matching slots. We get attacked down. We're going to be using Rockstar to get rid of that, and we can only use 2 specials, right? So we're going to be using the Queen special to give us an attack boost. We're going to have the Chain Boundary from the ulti page 1, so that's cool. Then we also have, you know, as we said, Rockstar because of his special to remove the attack down. Just in general, this should last for a pretty long time. Not really expecting to have to change his team around. Pretty nice team. Really looking forward to using King and Queen together in this treasure map. It's going to be pretty nice. Moving on now to the final boss of this video, the intrusion battle boss. We have Kaido. Now, with Kaido, we're going to be using Queen as the captain this time around, and once again, Kawamatsu will be returning as our friend captain here of choice, as we have one here. So, with this team, this one is a little bit different. Remember that only characters that are quick or Dex will be receiving the cooldown, so you have to keep that in mind. However, the thing is we are using Yamato in this team, and the really cool thing about Yamato is because Yamato is considered a 1.4 times point booster. It means that she actually gets -10 cooldown, meaning that she actually will be ready by the time we need her for the final boss stage. So that's a really nice addition there. But talking about what actually happens in this quest, there's going to be an Orochi mini boss before you reach the final boss room, and he gives you a full board of bomb slots. He also gives you 4 turns of paralysis and 5 turns of increased defense. So we actually have Black Maria to remove the increased defense. We have Kawamatsu to get rid of the paralysis. Now, in order to get around the bomb slots, we're actually going to be using the special ability of Queen. Now, that doesn't actively activate his super type, but we have the support of King attached to Queen, which gives our powerhouse characters a 1.75 times orb boosting effect, and supports will activate the super type of Queen and King. So that will enable us to then use the super type of Queen to give us a full board of deck slots, which are going to be treated matching for the whole team, and then we can just kill that stage in 1 turn. Not going to be a problem. Queen will automatically activate in the final boss room as well, because we did have an orb boost active. So great synergy going on here. But actually having a look once again at what happens here on the final boss room, we get a full board of block slots, delay immunity, and there's also going to be resilience. Remember that if you activate Queen's special ability during that turn, he's going to do end of turn damage, so we don't have to worry about the resilience. The block slots, we have Yamato to get rid of. Going to change them all to Wano slots and give us a really good chain boost. We also have the support of Doflamingo, which gives our driven characters a 1.75 times orb boost. Again, really nice additions to the team. We're going to have ulti page 1 for their conditional boost. They're going to do so much damage for us, plus their chain boundary, plus they're also considered a dex unit when they're in their page 1 form. So in terms of damage, again, I'm not really too worried about this one. This should also be relatively comfortable, utilizing King, Queen, Yamato, ulti page 1. These characters all together being boosted on this treasure map actually makes it kind of ridiculous. If you have the point boosters, obviously makes things a lot easier, and you don't have to worry about things as much. But that's what we're going to be running for this upcoming treasure map versus Kaido. And as I said, definitely looking forward to using some of these characters and see how they kind of perform. And with all of that being said, that is going to conclude yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Thank you very much for watching, and if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.